What's going on YouTube? This is John from the Unhinged Zombie Hunter Clan. Sorry about that. Welcome to 2019 on my Ancient Gear deck profile. As I was saying, I run 3 Golems, 1 Reactor Dragon, 3 Wyverns, and as I was saying, I do run 3 copies of Ancient Gear Knight. I also run 2 copies of Ancient Gear Soldier. And it kind of helps because Ancient Gear Soldier is one of my artillery guys. I also run, excuse me, I have a bit of a problem with my chest. I also run 3 copies of Ancient Gear Frame and the 1 Ancient Gear Gadget. So Frame just helps me search out Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Fusion if you have that. So it helps. Plus, if he's destroyed by battle or card effects, you can summon from your deck or hand up to 3 Ancient Gear Golems. So that is a bit of a plus. Ancient Gear Gadget can just take the name of 1 Ancient Gear monster on the field, but it doesn't act like Ancient just has its name. Then for the rest of the Ancient Gears, I run not 1, but 3 copies of Ancient Gear Box. And Box, when it's searched via a card effect, which is with Wyvern, you get to search another Ancient Gear monster with 500 defense, or the attack, which is for Box, Frame, and Knight, Gear, Gadget, or any of the others, and it just helps with combinations. And for the last of the Ancient Gears that I do run, because it's the burner for the life points and the fusion summoner, the 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hounds, my best hunter in the deck. And like I said, Hunting Hound burns your opponent for 600 life points and can fusion summon on the field or your hand, so that helps. And the newest machine I have added to this deck, because this was recommended by my friend Joe at Zephyr Wargames, I recommend you check out the crew at Zephyr Wargames. There will be a link to their channel in the description down below. Also, feel free to check them out on Facebook as well. And don't forget to check out their Zephyr Wargames 5% discount code at tier 0. It helps you get some of your Yu-Gi-Oh needs if you so wish to spend on it. Bye. And as I say, that's with Hidden Summoner and anyone else you want. And for the last of the machines, like I was about to say, I do run the 1 Cyber Pharisee, and he's another fusion summoner from hand or field. If your fusion monster, though, is destroyed by battle or card effects, banish this card, you can search out Power Bond instead as well. And yeah, that is it for the monster lineup. Now, moving on to the spells, I still run, as I said in most of my previous videos, I still run 2 Terraformers because it got hit on the ban list and semi-limited to 2, so that helps. I also run 3 copies of Gear Town, which is one of the key cards you need in this deck at 3. I also run, for a spare field spell, I do run the 1 Fusion Recycling Plant, because it helps with returning fusion material from your graveyard, and it also helps that you can ditch a card to get a fusion card from your deck to your hand, or help to get a fusion card from your graveyard. I also play 3 copies of Ancient Gear Castle. Now, like I said in some of my previous videos, Ancient Gear Castle, when it's activated, it gives all Ancient Gear monsters 300 attack points, but not the defense points. Also, for every summoned, set, or special summoned card with this card, you get 1 counter per summon, or special summon, or set, whatever. And if you have a monster that needs to be tributed to summon it, you can tribute Castle, and the Castle becomes the tribute summon instead. Next, for the rest of the others, I do run the 3 copies of Ancient Gear Fortress. Now, this is another key card in this deck because it really works. Ancient Gear Fortress, if it's destroyed by card effects, you can special summon any Ancient Gear monster from your hand or your graveyard, and it kind of helps in combination with either getting Wyvern, Golem, or any of your other Ancient Gears except Cyber Pharisee, because it doesn't count as an Ancient Gear, from your graveyard. I then also run, because this is the main key card, 3 copies of Ancient Gear Catapult. Now with this, if you have this in combination, so if you go with an opening hand of Terraforming, Fortress, castle and the ancient gear monsters with a catapult. Activate gear. So you use Terraforming to add Gear Town, then use Catapult to pop Gear Town, which gives you 2 summons. So with Catapult, any of your boss monsters, and Gear Town, always summon Wyvern or Hound, whatever you want to summon. And then you can make all your plays from there. The other effect of Ancient Gear Catapult, because you can only use one of its 2 effects once per turn. Its first effect, it just pops any Ancient Gear card on the field, and when it comes to your next turn, which is your once per turn, you can remove this card from your graveyard and destroy another Gear card, so like Gear Fortress summon, and Gear Catapult will give you 1 Ancient Gear token, which is right here, and it just works so well. For the next of the Ancient Gears I do play, which is all the Revival ones, which are the last of the cards that I'm going to be showing as well. I do run the 2 Ancient Gear Workshops and the 1 Monster Reborn for the Revivals. Workshop, if I get Box out of the graveyard, I can use his recycling to add a hand effect all over again. And it really does work. And Monster Reborn, we all know what it does because it's a staple in this sort of thing. And it helps because it's off the ban list, but only at 1. So thank you, Konami, for bringing it back. And for the last of the spells, this is the fusion lineup. I do not just run 1 fusion spell. I run 1 Power Bond, 1 Overload Fusion, 1 Flash Fusion, and 1 Super Polymerization. So Super Polymerization, you know what it does by now. It takes you send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to fusion summon. Flash Fusion, also people can't activate any card responses in response to this card. Flash Fusion lets you fusion summon if monsters you control. So also, when it's your end phase, that card is destroyed. So if you were to use this on 3 Ancient Gear monsters on the field, fuse them into Ancient Gear Mechaton Golem, at your end phase, it's destroyed, but its graveyard effect goes off, letting you special summon Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, ignoring its summoning conditions. So that is a bit of a plus for it. Overload Fusion, you can just use it to banish all the number of Ancient Gear monsters you want from your graveyard to summon a second Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. Power Bond, it will just double your... If you use it to summon Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, you can double its attack to 9k. And that's like instant KO in that 1 turn. So all these fusion methods are going to work with this deck because I've been studying this deck and rebuilding it and using it carefully. And the fusion spells, I only needed 1 Power Bond, 1 Overload, 1 Flash Fusion, and 1 Super Poly. So I only need 4 fusion techniques in this deck. Plus if you count Hunting Hound, because he's another fusion, so that's 5 fusion techniques. No, just wait. And for the last of the main deck, this is the trap cards. I run 3 copies of Rivalry of the Warlords. Now, this card, you can only both players can only control 1 type of monster. So for me, since it works with Ancient Gears, I'm only locked into machines. Anyone else who has different deck cards, they have to only use 1 type of card that they've chosen to use, and it kind of screws people over because now they can't go into anything else. So in a way, this is a plus for this deck. So I recommend you pick these up. These are in Hidden Summoners, and they're £4 on the internet. So make sure you pick up a playset if you're playing Ancient Gears. This will double your chances of winning. Okay, that is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we do run, for Link monsters, the 1... Oh, sorry, that's a bit glary. The 1 Cleavefort Genius. Now, he's a staple for this deck because he's a Link 2 machine, and he can negate 1 card on my field, and he can negate a card on your opponent's field, so they basically can't even do anything. For the Xyz lineup, I do only run 1 Heavy Armoured Iron Train, Heavy Armoured Train Iron Wolf. So he can help just attack your opponents right directly for 2200 points of damage. For the fusion lineups, I run 3 copies of Ancient Gear Howitzer, another burner for your deck. for this deck, but he only activates his burning abilities on your main phase. You cannot use it twice, so that's a note for people. And if he's unaffected by all card effects, and if he's destroyed by battle, his graveyard effect allows you to special summon one, and I do mean only one, folks, take that into account, one Ancient Gear Golem from your deck, ignoring the summoning conditions, or any Ancient Gear monster for that. It's any Ancient Gear, not just Golem, but it's any Ancient Gear you can summon because of his graveyard effect. So yeah, that was something I should have read a bit closer, so sorry about that. I do run as well the one Ancient Gear Mechaton Golem. Now, like I said, if you use Flash Fusion to summon him, and at your end phase when he's destroyed, you get to special summon Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. And for this Ancient Gear card, it just requires 3 Ancient Gear machine monsters. So any Ancient Gear card will work, including the tokens will work with it as well. Also, the token we can use to link summon into Qliphort. For the rest of the Ancient Gear fusions, I do run the not just one, but two. No, not just two, but 3 copies of Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Like I said, because of Mechaton, he really does help with this deck. So it's a quick free summon if Mechaton is destroyed. So you get a plus for free summoning. And for the last of the fusions, now this is the very last of the fusion extra deck, I run the 3 copies, like I said, of Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. Now, like I did in a test today with a friend of mine against Cybursts, I pulled out, because I used Hunting Hound to fusion summon into one while Qliphort was on the field, and then I used Overload Fusion to summon a second one, and I blew my opponent's field off in 3 turns, and I took the rest of his life points out at 9k. So this deck is really the powerfulest one you could ever use. It's so useful, it's so good. Any of you who would want to play this deck, I welcome you to test it against it and against me, because I would love to see how well you've got some good ideas for your decks and what other decks you have that could compare to this deck. We already know that we're getting a Scrap Wyvern for the new cards we're getting this year from Konami. Also, we are also getting one new Link monster for Super Heavy Samurais, which is a bonus, so thank you, Konami. And that is it's a Scarecrow one for Super Heavies as a Link 1 with 0 attack, but its effect is so good. You can use it to discard one Super Heavy monster from your hand and then summon it to the field. So, for example, if you've got Big Ben K on the field, discard him, you get to summon him straight to the zone he points to, and you've got Big Ben K on the field. You've literally got a sure win. So yes, thank you for watching. Please remember, if you are still new to this channel, please remember to subscribe. If you have been a member for so long, please remember to leave a like and leave a comment. That also goes for you as well, Hazard Waste. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for following me on my Ancient Gear deck profile. That really means a lot to you. I will also make sure to bring you some more updated videos. If anything else you want to see, I have a Nordics, Super Heavy Samurais, or anything else, let me know in the comments down below. Let me also know if you wanted me to continue doing more Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles. I will make sure to bring you more, so send me comments if you say yes. If you don't, then don't worry. But yeah, thank you for watching. Remember, I will leave a link in the description down below for you to check out the Zephyr War Games at YouTube and Facebook. And don't forget to check out Tier Zero and use their amazing ZW, in capitals, Games 5 and 5, number 5 discount code to get all your Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs on that site. It will help you out a ton. This is not a sponsor for me. This is just me giving the Zephyr War Games and any of you who want more Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, a chance to get some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff from Tier Zero with the help of Zephyr War Games. So, big thumbs up to Zephyr, and a very happy New Year to all my friends at Zephyr, my friend Joe, Dale, Donald, all of you. Hope you're having a good day, or I should say evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And to them, guys, keep on dueling. Bye-bye.